It's time to pick every over-under for this week in the NFL. Week 5 of the 2023 NFL season. What's going on, BLV? It's Mitch here, back with another week of NFL over-under picks, picking every total for Week 5 of the 2023 NFL season. If that sounds good, don't forget to spike the like button and subscribe for weekly NFL best bets and over-under picks for every game in the NFL. My first ever season picking every total in the NFL all year long. So join me on my journey, man, and let me know in the comment section below your best bet for week number 5. Last week, we went 8-8, 500, not bad, not horrible, not great. 34, 29-1 overall on our picks this season for the totals. Let's begin on Thursday night. We have the Bears and the Commanders. 44.5 is the over-under. I'm going over for the simple fact that both of these offenses have played better than their defenses. The Bears have arguably the worst or second worst defense in football. And I think the Commanders have overall disappointed defensively. They haven't really played up to their standard. I think Sam Howell is making this team a little bit more explosive. Eric Bieniemy is making this team more explosive and efficient offensively. They have very good receivers. I think they can run the ball than people think. I think they will run the ball and throw the ball explosively versus the Chicago Bears. And I feel this is a game where Washington gets in front. Justin Fields chases from behind, and this ends up going over. It's hard to know with Thursday Night Football. Typically, those games do go under more than not. But sloppy football, a short week, it can lead to two teams with not great defenses right now to play offensive, explosive, sloppy football. So, I'm going to go Washington, Chicago, over 44.5. Moving to Sunday, we have a London game at 48.5 as the Bills and the Jags. This is tough because I want to believe in the defenses here, especially with how Trevor Lawrence is playing and Jacksonville's offense is playing. I don't think they're playing that well. I don't think they're playing that efficient. But I do believe that in this setting, Doug Peterson understands that he's going to have to be very aggressive to beat the Bills. So this feels like an over to me with the way that Josh Allen and the Bills offense is producing. Jacksonville is better against the run than the pass, and they have not faced a team as explosive or as good as Josh Allen and Buffalo's offense. So I feel that Trevor Lawrence is going to have to come to play here, and I feel Doug Peterson is going to be extra aggressive. So I think for the first week without Tre'Davious White, Trevor Lawrence and company will move the ball decent. So I'm going to go over the 48.5, but this is not going to be one that I feel super confident about. It just makes sense to me. 38 is the total in the Ravens and the Steelers, and this pretty much is an auto play to the under. It's a very low number, but it's a low number for a reason. The Steelers have probably Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. That might actually help the over, but this is not a very good offense. They can't really protect. Their play calling is a disaster. They have no confidence in Matt Canada. Their run game is really bad, and their receivers are lacking any flavor without Deontay Johnson. I feel like the Steelers, if they want to win this game, they have to hold the Ravens to 20 or less. And I think that's possible given the Steelers play Lamar very well. So I'm backing a Pittsburgh defense at home to keep this one competitive because their offense is not really going to be able to. So I'm going to say this is going to be an under. Next, we have the 45 total in the Carolina Panthers and the Detroit Lions. This is an under. Feels pretty good. I actually like this as maybe a best bet. The Lions offense is good, but when they understand they're playing a bad offense like the one in Carolina, especially a team that will be on the road in Detroit and a rookie quarterback, I feel like Detroit's really going to run the ball, milk the clock, get out of there with a win. So I could see Detroit scoring in the high 20s, but I don't really see Carolina scoring more than 17 at the most. So I just don't see how this goes over. I feel like unless Detroit blows them out of the water, Carolina's defense is competitive enough for me to say that this will likely go under, because Carolina has maybe the worst offense in the NFL right now. And there are a lot of bad offenses. They're at least in the bottom 5. So I'm going to say under. Next, 41.5 Texans and Falcons. This is tricky. Atlanta tends to go under. So I'm going to lean towards the under here. Although this game is in Atlanta, which might actually push it and help it go over. CJ Stroud has played really well, which would make me scared about playing this, but I really like how Atlanta's defense is playing, and I feel like DeMeco Ryans is a very smart defensive coach. They're going to try to take the run away from Atlanta, pack the box. I feel like both defenses come to play here, so I'm going to say under 41.5. Next, the Patriots and the Saints. This might be a best bet. Actually, in fact, check it as a best bet. Saints, Patriots, under 40. Patriots play a defense that plays man coverage and can stop the run. They're not going to score a lot of points. I'm a Pats fan. I don't really see how it happens. And the other side of the ball, Derek Carr's injured, not playing well. Their offense is in shambles. Their play calling is very conservative. And Alvin Kamara's washed. I feel like both teams will struggle to score and move the ball. This is a defensive game, a field position game. And I think both teams really try to protect the football, especially after what happened with Mac Jones last week in New England. So I think this is definitely an under 40. Next, 48.5 Giants and Dolphins. This is tricky because whenever you're talking about the Dolphins at home, you have to deal with the possibility that they might just put up 40 themselves. So I'm going to say over. The Giants, I also feel like, could put up some points in this game if they get half decent protection. Not sure if that's a certainty, though. But they have to play better than they did against Seattle. That being said, the Dolphins' defense is really bad this year. And they have not played well, especially last week against the Bills. So I'm going to lean towards the over, but this is not a heavy play for me. Next, 42.5 Titans and Colts. I actually think this is a sneaky over. The Colts have been a sneaky over team this year. They've been scoring consistently in the 20s. And I feel like Richardson, Steichen, the combination of these two with super athletic and super creative, it makes for an over team. Their defense, I feel, will get some stops against the Titans. But I also feel the Titans are an explosive offense that can create big plays. This is always a game that is played in the 20s, it feels like. So I'm going to go with an over 42.5. 44.5 is the Bengals and the Cardinals, and everything about me wants to say under, but I don't know. I might want to go over because of how the Cardinals have been scoring. Do I believe in Joe Burrow? It's really tough for me to take an over with this Bengals team right now. Why not? Let's believe. Over. Why not? Let's believe in Joe Burrow. Let's do it. Over 44.5. Cardinals have been sneaky effective, man. They've been putting up points. Next, 50.5 Eagles and Rams. I like the over here as well. Stafford versus a beat up, not playing well secondary, a pass rush that's maybe a little overrated, potentially Cooper Kupp back. I feel like the Rams will score 24 to 27 points. And I don't think the Rams are going to have much success slowing down an Eagles unit that can really block, run the ball, sustain success on the ground, protect from Aaron Donald, and then they've got matchups on the outside. So whichever way the Rams try to defend here, it's not going to work for them. I feel like the Eagles probably win a close one in a shootout, something like 30 to 27. I feel like this is an overplay for me. This number keeps going up. Next, 52.5 for the Vikings and the Chiefs. I think this is a sneaky under. The Vikings can score points, but the Chiefs defense has played well this year, minus kind of a debacle against Zach Wilson last week. I feel like they're going to bounce back this week. I think they're going to get enough stops here. I like their corner position. I like Chris Jones. I feel like they'll make some plays defensively. I also feel like the Chiefs' offense hasn't been really flowing and moving as consistently as we would like. I think they've been a little overrated, and I feel like this is going to be a slight under. I would not bet this, but a slight under 52.5. It's a high number. Next, 43 is the total for the Jets and the Broncos. I feel like the Broncos are an over team, but the Jets are an under team. So this is a tricky number. I'm going to go under because I feel like Zach Wilson, the Jets, they're going to want to run the ball. I feel like this is an offense that the Jets are playing that is unlike the Bills, the Cowboys, or really the teams that they've played so far. They've played some good teams. They've played the Chiefs, they've played the Bills, they've played the Cowboys. All teams that can score, can move the ball. They're all better than the Broncos. Now, they did play New England. That was an under. So I feel like it's going to be an under here. The Broncos offense has been playing well, but they have not faced a defense like the Jets. They faced the Commanders. They faced the Dolphins. They faced the Bears. They faced the Raiders. So this feels like an under here. I think the Jets defensive line dominates. I think Zach Wilson tries to protect the ball. They run the ball. He makes some plays, and I think it's enough for the Jets to pull this one out. But I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. Next, 45 is the total for the Cowboys and the Niners. I'm going under in this game as well. Going to this game, it's going to be fun. Can't wait. These games have been relatively low scoring the last couple of times they've met. They both have two of the top 3 or 4 defenses in football. And I feel like the Dallas Cowboys offense has been sputtering in the red zone. They can move the ball, but they can't score points. I think the Niners will have a solution for this offense. I also feel like the Cowboys, with their speed and their ability to pass rush in pure passing situations, will cause Brock Purdy some issues. This is a borderline best bet on the under. I also like the Niners to win the game and cover, but I'm going to go under 45. And the final game is Monday Night Football. 44.5, Packers and Raiders. I'm going to go with the over. I think this is a big Jordan Love game against the Raiders on the road. I think they get up to high 20s, low 30s. And I think the Raiders offense comes alive in this setting at home. Jimmy Garoppolo should be back and healthy. Josh Jacobs had his best game of the year last week. And this is a Devontae Adams revenge game. So give me the over 44.5 in Packers Raiders to close the week. Those are my picks, my total picks, my over-under picks for week 5 of the 2023 NFL season. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, Gronk, spike the like button and subscribe. It's Mitch. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Good luck in week 5. Peace.